or is there not enough magic in the air?
Oh, sure, yeah, I am trying today. That he'll cast Detect Thoughts.
You have that once per
Once per day.
day. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not once per churros.
Nope. And then I can cast it with a spell slot if I have them spare.
Yeah. Did you cast? No, you didn't cast it. Yeah, so you still have the free one.
Yep.
You cast Detect Thoughts, and you look over to Deet, and well, what are Deet's surface level thoughts? Not thoughts that she's focusing on necessarily, just sort of idling thoughts. I guess break it down to feelings. That's probably usually the more simple one. Emotions. Okay.
More like curious. Amazed in a way.
Okay. Yeah, so you begin reading such thoughts from Deet. Again, superficially.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still struggling to get used to it, but you seem to have feelings of curiosity and, like, wonder or amazement, I'm guessing. Like, to be honest, I've only just started doing this in the past couple of days, so understanding how other people do different emotions. Like, when I did it on Redane earlier, and I felt his, like, tenacity and something, it took me a while to understand that that's what it was, because it could be confused for, like, wrath or anger or just pure force of will until he spoke on his actions, and that made it clear, you know? It's hard to...
Yeah.
People interpret emotions different ways, and it's not like, aha, that's that. Because the way I respond to things is different to how other people do it, and I only know my own experiences, so it's a skill I'm learning slowly.
I think it's very useful. And you kind of are spot on.
Thank you. That means I'm getting better. I can also, like at the moment, I can just read surface thoughts. Well, not really thoughts, but like surface emotions and stuff like that. Just things that are generally true, but but I can try probe deeper. I'm just sort of, I'll play with his fingers. I'm just not sure how well that'll go.
Oh.
And that's hard. That's like harder to do because the mind naturally sort of rebuffs trying to glean more, you know?
Yeah. I get it.
Magic is weird, and I don't understand any of it.
Same. I barely am able to cast that much, but you, on the other hand, you have so many cool magic.
I don't know half of them. Like, earlier in the fight, I casted a spell that I've never done before, but I don't know if I can do it again, and it doesn't feel like I can, but it feels like I should be able to do it, but if I, like, practice enough, I don't know how. I'm just sort of having a feeling like that. You could say I rely on instinct for magic rather than skill and hard work like Tolis. Then again, I did learn how to do some spells from Tolis, and they are weird, and I don't know how I can do them, but I can't do them the way that I normally do spells. It's just sort of the word book thingy, and anyway. And then there's the weird magic like Ori and how I did that, and I'm completely confused about that.
You still don't know where Ori is. Ori has been gone for like basically the past like couple hours.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Who's on watch right now, or is it just like?
Well, I think everyone's still looking for a potential assassin on the ridge, so to speak.
Okay.
Which hopefully you guys are having your chit chat in a place visible from one of the gates. Hopefully.
Yeah. I think I came towards Brendan when he's about to
Go to bed, yes.
yeah.
At least setting up for the night.
Okay.
Yes. It is a late night, even though I'll say the daylight spell runs out around now. I don't really have a track of time of how long it's been going for, but it goes out around now, so you guys are once more plunged into a world of darkness.
Okay. I think that's all the questions I want to ask now. Well, Brendan, I
Hi.
don't want to keep you up for too long. It was nice chatting.
Thank you. It was nice having someone to chat to and sort of, get things out of my head and into speech. It helps.
Right. Then I will be going.
I have a small little fairy to look for before I go to sleep.
Where, oh where she is.
Well, the easy answer is focus and see through her eyes and try and.
You can, if you want.
If she's within range, I
Which
shall
is like
try.
100 feet.
Yeah, it's not far.
Yeah, you need the Warlock Pact of the Chainmaster, and then the implications to see further and further out.
Yeah.
Not within 100 feet. This is around the time Anushka gets back with all the wolves. Light goes out, wolves return. Such and such.
Can I
Yes.
dismiss her and resummon her next to me?
You can try.
Yeah. Because
You
I don't think that has a
dismissed-
range.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
You dismiss Ore and try to resummon her. When you do so, it is Ore there once again, looking very still.
What are you?
Eyes wide open. Just sort of teetering back and forth.
You okay? I'll sort of reach up a hand to try and see if she'll react.
You eventually have to prod Ore to get any visceral response from them. And as you do so, they come back to reality, so to speak, back into consciousness. Huh? Looks around frantically. Huh? Wait. Oh,
Are you okay?
where am I?
I don't know. You're at the Palisades. I don't know where you were though. You were out of range.
Who are you?
Brendan. We've
Hi,
known
nice to
each
meet
other- Oh, no, that's not good. Detect thoughts are still up. Detect thoughts on her.
Mm-hmm. She's very
Is it-
eager to meet you.
Okay. Probe deeper.
That is in save, yes.
Wisdom save.
Weird, you would think a spell called Detect Thoughts would be in, but
Yeah, it's a wisdom saving throw.
yes.
But yeah, that's
Yep.
too high.
Too high. You are unable to probe deeper. Just blinks at you.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Where are we? Who are they?
We're at the
It's really dark.
Oh, yes, it is. Alright. This is gonna be a long night. I'm guessing.
Ooh, so this
He'll
smells good. What's in your pocket?
he'll minor illusion up a light. It's not a very good light, but it's a light. It's not.
Ore delves into the pocket with blueberries, gooseberries, and such.
Just like,
Ooh.
these are my treats that I keep aside for you. It seems
For me?
Aye.
Wow. You're really nice.
I try to be, but something's
How do you know I
off.
like this?
Well, you see, oh shite. Well, right. He'll hold out a hand for it to sit on.
Sits on it, begins nibbling on berries.
Well, you see, I've known you for a couple days now. I actually summoned you, I guess it's 2 days ago.
No, you summoned me just now.
No, I summoned you 2 days ago, and then
I think I'd remember that.
you would think that. But,
And I do.
Well, shite. So, I did summon you. It might not be you, but, you know, someone that looks exactly like you, talked exactly like you, acted like you, that type of thing.
Oh, like a twin.
Or a clone, I think, is the right word? I'm not entirely sure. But, you know...
Yeah.
This is really weird. I'm not entirely sure.
You look tired.
I always.
Don't worry. You can go to sleep, and I'll be here. We can talk later.
Okay. I'm worried. And he'll just start, like, stroking her hair. As he...
So
with a single finger.
Leaned into it. Same way a cat would. I say, looking at my cat over there.
Furry bastard. Just like, okay, well, talk in the morning if I can get sleep with how anxious I am feeling, but you know, petting you is making me feel better.
Hee.
And he'll just start mumbling to himself as he tries to, like, calm down and not panic.
You eventually fall asleep from sheer exhaustion.
Yes.
Being put into the realm of the doors of death and coming back are seldom a rejuvenating feeling.
He's exhausted in a lot of ways.
So, let us switch gears. Oriana, you, some time ago, went to go examine, gather, what have you, the flags, the banners put on the front of your guys' little fortification here.
Yeah, could she have... I don't think how effective this would be considering the environment, but, like, could she try to, like, stealth once she gets out there so, like, if that shooter is still around, she doesn't get shot immediately?
You can try. Roll stealth.
Sure. No, it'd suck. 19's actually really good.
You think you are decently stealthy. But then again, so does Kronk from Emperor's New Groove, so... You stealth out
And
to
he
the flags.
was.
He was, yeah, totally. Disregard the two old guys that walk past him, like, bro.
Just
Anyways,
because
think
you
that's
roll
more
a
a
2
persuasion
doesn't
check
mean your
than a
enemies
stealth
can't
check.
roll a 1.
True.
that's a very good point. Anyways, so you go out to the banners, sneaking up on them, using the ditch outside the palisade to your advantage as you crouch down into it, almost like maneuvering through a really shallow trench, because that is exactly what you're doing. They're still there.
Could I pop them off the wall and take them inside?
Sure. They're just attached to the one of the logs that forms the palisade via like a piton,
Right.
python, how the fuck you want to call it.
The
Spiky nail thing. That's big. And so all I had to do is really just like grab a crowbar or undo those and pull them down.
Yeah, we have a spare crowbar in the bag.
Yeah, so
Just casually having a mental breakdown. Yeah, she's going to retrieve those. As she heads inside, can she peer around to see if there's any more, or are these the only 2?
these are the only ones.
Okay.
Only the north-facing side of the fort has the flags.
Okay. Yeah, she's going to take those inside and I guess just examine. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like what to ask to try and get any information of why the fuck they're there.
See? Yeah, now we've gone from combat to investigation mode. That's right, it's like Phoenix right in here. So, you bring them back inside.
Yeah.
At this point, the Chosen, Lyco's Chosen, the tribe of them have tightened the perimeter a bit, especially now that Anushka's back inside the perimeter. During this point, chronologically, this is around when the daylight spell ends, I'll just say, for simplicity's sake. So you're back in darkness. That being said, there is still plenty of firewood to light a small fire, and honestly, it's not as if your guys' presence wasn't super obvious anyways.
Yeah.
We had literally a small sun above our base. Yeah, I think we're a bit obvious.
Yeah, we also had just the stealth fires. They still produce light. Not as
They produce dim light, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck it. I see you talk to Amber. She'll call Amber over? Or
Sup?
go to Amber, I suppose.
Sup?
Hi.
You look like you got something on your mind.
Dozen different things, but let's start with this.
Then how can Dr. Amber be of assistance for you this evening?
That's a different way to... You know what, it's still technically accurate.
She seems a bit giddy from how successful you guys were.
I'm glad to see your excitement.
But seriously, how can I help you?
She holds out... There was 2 of them, so she holds out one of the banners so she can look at it.
Oh, provincial flag. Where'd you get this?
Just outside the walls. Literally stuck to them.
Unless Lambert put those on the wall as part of some Hillandic pride thing, that's concerning.
Mm-hmm. In this case, all it would really do is draw unwanted attention to us.
Like the amount we got.
Yeah.
Right. So she like flaps it. Pretty large. Not bad quality. Probably not made by any Nevros. Which would be a bit weird, Nevros people making provincial flags, but...
Very.
Yeah, I mean.
I'm just trying to figure out why they're there and how they got there without any of us noticing.
I mean, I imagine some magic or sneaky son of a bitch is what got them there without us noticing.
I'd lean more towards a sneaky aspect. Is it anything with...
Maybe, but for all the magic they're being flung around up here in the north, never know. I mean, could try asking them, but he might actually know something. This is his neck of the woods, pun intended.
I don't know. I suppose you'd be more... I don't know what I was asking. More familiar with, like, what other messages it could could be trying to tell?
It's a flag, girl. It's a flag. I think the message is pretty clear.
Hmm. Sure. Never mind. Right. You were, there was also something else. Hey.
Hey.
You're on watch with Marika, right?
Well, just now.
Well, not just... I guess we might be redoing watches, but when the original plan was intended for us to do watches, you were with her, correct?
Nope.
Like the fourth one? No?
I mean, we haven't done. It's not morning yet, so I haven't done my watch at all yet.
Alright, never mind then.
I will be. I haven't done it yet. Why? Unless suddenly the cosmos and time have shifted around me. That'd be something. Sounds like something in a book. Why you ask?
Would you mind swapping with me?
You raised an eyebrow. Why?
Because I want to talk with Marie. Could be anything subtle, will just make it seem suspicious. I just want to train with her.
Okay. And what do I get out of it?
You get to harass Zal about Deet.
Yeah, I could do that any time of the day.
True,
I've been doing it all day today. I'm not sure if you realized it.
True, but this one he's...
That's why he's been dodging me.
Yes, but this one he's socially contracted where he can't dodge you because he has to stay in a certain area to guard. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, or he might just punch me.
I don't think he'd assault.
She raised an eyebrow at that, like, are you sure? Are you sure about that?
Maybe if he is assuming that you're able to dodge it.
Her eyebrow doesn't drop. So, what else you got to trade?
I hate this. I don't really have much of anything.
You got secrets.
Oh my god, I'm not going to do that just to talk to Marika.
Well, then I guess your training will just... Just have to stay up.
Or I
All
just
sleepy
ask
like.
Silas and Marika to swap.
Yeah?
I mean, Silas would probably say yes to it. Marika probably wouldn't have any arguments against it.
Sure.
Just me swapping with you as just a single person.
Sure. I'm not your mum.
Okay,
If anything, I'm younger than you.
yeah. Fine, sure. She'll just go and talk to... No, she'll just shove the banners and thing and go talk to Silas and ask him to, or them to swap with Marika. There.
Go ask.
Yeah, Garth, ask.
I guess it'd be more asking her. She'll talk to Marika first. Be more on.
You find Marika, who's in the midst of looking over the compound. Even as the light is going dark, she's not able to see in the dark, but she just sort of scans idly.
Can I pester you for a minute?
Go ahead.
Would you be willing to swap with Silas when watches are coming up?
What? Miss Silas Hill.
No, it's honestly more for my benefit. It's just Amber's stubborn.
You get a smirk. Sounds like her. I'm afraid no. Me and Tolis have some things to talk about. If you're going to switch watches with people, why not just switch with Kasai?
I don't know what their reaction to the situation would be. It probably.
From what I'm reading off of Kasai, she's pretty tempered right now, but not at any of us.
Yes, I don't exactly want it to be directed at me.
Just don't give her a reason to. It's a simple request, and if she says no, then she says no. You say this was for your benefit. To what end?
I. What's she trying to think? I was not content with the performance that I had today when we were actually combating someone, and you seem differently versed than my normal practices, so I thought, at the very least, similar sparring.
I can see why you would think that, but I assure you, training with me won't do anything for that. You and I are of the same cloth. Birds of a feather and things like that. We're not Zal. We're not Vasa. I saw what you did during the fight. That's admirable. But, as you felt, dangerous. I mean this with no offense. It is a fine line that you dance upon, and you stepped on some feet. I applaud your bravery. The first thing you did when you came back to consciousness was to continue your assault. But there's more to these engagements than just you, and what pride you have in taking down the enemy. There are people that look out for you. So, I suggest for you in future times, with no offense meant, know your limits. Get yourself out of there. You and I are among the fastest people in this group. Aside from the horses and the wolves, of course. We can outrun everyone, which means they have to put in that much extra effort to catch back up. I don't know what your background is. I know you are from a militaristic background. But there's still formation you have to account for in military backgrounds. And you don't do that. I mean, no judgment for it. But I do note it. And I can't help but note it when a good soul like Tolis tries to chase after you to help you. Same for Zal, and to a certain lesser degree Vaso. You have your strengths, so does everyone else. Training with me won't get rid of your weaknesses, especially because we are similar. I've done the same in my own past. It's much harder to get back from, I assure you. So that's what I'm telling you now. Run as a team, not run as fast as you can. Pull back. Let go of being the glorious one when the time is right. Or else, she looks at where the fight happened. You see what happens. That being said, if you want to train, I'm not against it. I just want you to temper your expectations of what the training will actually bring.
I don't even know what I'm expecting from the situation, honestly.
Yeah, I suppose there's only one way to find out, then. Go ask Kasai. Tell her I'd like for her to switch as well. She and I definitely aren't friends, but I think we both enjoy a quiet corner in the back watching all of you do things together. So, maybe that'll have some more pull.
Alright, okay. She'll go to... She'll nod and head off towards Kasai.
You leave America and go to try to find Kasai. She is in the midst of finishing up, because she does a ceremony for basically every grave, except the Alas and the Bushback Beast. She leaves that one fallow, so to speak.
Their own thing.
But she's in the midst of finishing the last one, and she's standing up, dusting off her knees, because she is, on her knees in communion.
Oriana would give her a minute, or not a minute, she'd give her a little extra time.
She turns around and sees you, and immediately just turns the rest of her body to look at you. Yes. Don't tell me there's another body somewhere.
No. None of us have dropped dead after the fight or anything. Turns back. Fuck off. God damn it, brain. Would you mind swapping me on watch?
So, 4th to 3rd.
Effectively, yes.
Sure.
Alright.
She raised an eyebrow. Why?
I wanted to... I wanted to talk to Marika about things. Also training some. And after going through a handful of different options, I ended up getting passed around until I was directed towards you.
She raised an eyebrow at that. As gesturing you to continue, like, alright, who was it?
I thought Amber would be simple, and then she's like,
You are a
tell
fool.
me a secret. Yeah. I picked up on that. And then talked to Marika about the situation. She suggested you. Was originally trying to get Marika to my watch, but that just wasn't working.
She gets a smirk on her face. I do not know if you realize, but Marika is very maternal. And Toldis is very childish. Yes.
She looks like she's about to question whether the childish is accurate, and she doubles down. It's like, yeah, no, that's accurate. Literal child. Yeah.
I applaud Toldis' ability to stay pure and innocent, if not a bit naive and stupid. Immune amidst these lands. But there is no curing that sort of madness.
It's less cure and more it's broken.
She gets a smirk. I don't think so. The ideology will never go away. Toldis, though, might change. Gets a bit of a frown on her face, and I'm afraid of that. I've known many idealistic men and women where they did not adapt to the truth of reality. So instead, they found their own truths in lies and madness. So, keep Marika with Tolas. It would be better for everyone. So, you switch. Fine. I'll be sure to wake you up.
Appreciate it.
You can go tell the Dane that I am done with the bodies. I have some other things I want to check in on.
Can I ask what?
The shooter. The bolt.
Right.
I think one of the chosen still have it. So I want to look at it.
Right.
And
As
get
much
Lambert's
as-
opinion on it.
It's wise.
There was something he said before that is giving me pause.
If you want, I could take a look at it. I'm rather trained in different designs of weapons and such.
No. Well, if you wish to look at it, sure. But there's not the bolt itself, I am wondering. Not fully. You will see. But go, tell me Dan. I'll find you later, if you want to look.
She nods and goes and finds it. She's just running around the entire fucking campus at this point.
It's a good thing you have a faster movement speed.
Yeah.
So, you continue walking around the compound. You pass by Anushka, who herself has conglomerated the pack of wolves. Yeah.
Her eyes
No.
for like a second longer.
Well, I would ask that, to Anushka. Like, Redan was the one that requested you to go look around the perimeter with the walls. Would you go report back to him? On the, didn't see shit, boss.
So, yeah, I guess so. Yeah. She'd probably just be like, yeah, I didn't see anything. Kind of pissed, but there we go.
Yeah, you dropped the we ain't found shit.
Yeah. Just very, very annoyed. And then just sort of almost stomps off and just kind of goes, I'm just going to go to sleep. Meh. Kind of thing.
Yeah, so Oriana, as you're approaching Redan, you see Anushka leaving, like, huffed up, like, fuck this shit, I fucking can't see shit. Fucking, fuck our eyes, dude, how come they can't
I'm a shit ranger, god
Please,
damn
dude.
it.
Can't have
Oriana
can't
takes like
sit in
a
the
side
heavens.
step to stay out of like arm flailing range.
It's like, what is this?
Okay.
You begin muttering to yourself angrily, Anushka and Infernal.
Yeah, just like,
Which probably sounds even more.
a bit demonic. Yeah.
It's like saying I speak angrily in German. It sounds angrier somehow.
You speak angrily. Gotcha. Anyways. So yeah, Anushka, you pass by Oriana, who's in the midst of like dodging you, like.
Yeah, she doesn't even see him. Her. Doesn't even see her.
Just go. And then Oriana, you go to Redan, who's doffed his armor.
Duffed.
Just sort of letting the wound breathe, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, don't let your wounds
Don't
sit
just
foul
like
under your
that.
armor. That's how you get infections.
It's like I think I lost
just-
an arm.
Sort of staring at the fire and holding his blade out in front of him.
I think Oren's probably helping you do some patchwork. You would see some of his poultices on you.
Armless buddy,
Alright.
making sure someone doesn't lose an arm.
Alright. No. All good.
I appreciate it, all. Truly.
Yeah. That's the least I can do. You should probably get some rest, though. Wounds like that, need bed rest. And we ain't gonna get beds out here, so normal rest is what we gotta make do with.
Then I will lean on your expertise.
Are you sure about having them here for the night? I know you invited them, but I can't help but wonder if they're gonna kill us in our sleep.
If you flee in the night and you feel that is your compunction, then please take my horse. It's the fastest one.
lets out a loud sigh. I hate to admit that he was right, but you really are a smooth talker. All right, whatever. Good night. He walks off. And Oriana, you just do it for 10 now.
Garth forgot the name. Sounds like the subclass. Kasai, there we go. Kasai wanted me to inform you that she's finished, well, what you requested of her.
Oh. Thank you.
EB grows slightly brighter.
You were fantastic out there today.
That's a kindness, but not accurate.
I wouldn't be still breathing if it wasn't for you. So it is accurate.
He says, with belabored breathing, having had a fast track pass to his heart less than an hour ago. Yeah, so you think he's pretty serious on that, given the disgusting fleshy noise that happens every time he breathes. So yeah, actually, no, the wound will be decently patched up with magic. So he looks like shit.
He looks like shit. Sounds like shit. Kind of feeling like shit. Which also, she's at 8 HP now. I'm thinking about it, so she's not.
I would point out. He would have at least cleaned his face up and made sure his hair was neatly in place.
Make it pretty grave.
That's like to a man's heart.
It's a bullet.
Yeah.